Hello everybody, my name is Pravus and welcome back to more Planet Zoo in the Kanga-Zoo. I'm quite proud of how this place is turning out. It's looking pretty darn good. Of course, all good things must come to an end, and I do anticipate that this will be the last episode for this series because at this point, we have fulfilled our goal of placing every Australian creature we can into our zoo. That includes everything that was introduced in the new Australian content pack, but also all pre-existing Australian-based creatures. The only thing I'm really sad about in this expansion is that it did not include the emus. My kingdom for an emu. I would happily place down an emu pen just to upset all the Australians, remind them of the Great Emu War. But no, that's not a thing for some reason. I guess maybe because emus are kind of almost livestock-ish? I don't know. I think of them as being as exotic as like an ostrich or something, but maybe that's just not how it works. Either way, they're not here. So, in order to kind of end things nice and strong, I think we just go ahead and build out the zoo as much as we can. And we're going to kind of ignore, I think, a lot of the Australian theming at this point. I mean, yeah, I'll keep doing the decorations, but at this point we just pick up whatever animals we like, we build a whole load of pens, and make the zoo absolutely massive. Let's see, what's something we could pick up? I don't want to just get, like, things that make no sense. Arctic wolves, for example, would be a bit of an odd choice, don't you think? But some giraffes would make some sense, perhaps. Let's see, more cassowaries, some hyenas, that wouldn't be too bad. I mean, what if I did try to make a bit of a mixed exhibit this time around, you know? We mix up, let's say, one of these little guys, whatever they were called, I already forgot, and some giraffes and maybe a couple of other, like, little gazelles or something you'd find naturally occurring in the African wilderness. That could be kind of good. A springbok, yes, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, let's see if we can indeed pull off some sort of a mixed exhibit. Because that's always a very fun challenge in the game, is to try and find a harmonious balance of several different critters, you know? So in this case, what if I did a springbok, a giraffe, a couple of sable antelopes, and some greater flamingos just to get us started? Don't quite have all the, you know, females and other things figured out yet. We'll get to that, but if more pop up on the market, I'll happily jump on that. In the meantime, though, these are all from roughly the same kind of climate in the southern half of Africa. So I think these guys will all be able to work together. I am hoping they'll all be able to work together, so let's find out. Let's start with a few things that I know I'm going to want to do. Let's go ahead and add in a few little hills here and there. Also, kind of get a couple of little troughs. We're going to create our own little African-based oasis, which I have to imagine that the flamingos are going to be super duper excited about, right? Probably. So let's just go ahead and carve out a little bit of space, kind of like this. That hopefully will end up being enough, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll find out. Okay, so let's go ahead and increase the water level to something like this. There we go. Okay. So, flamingos. What's up with you guys? You need some hard shelters? You do have enough water for your needs, so that's good. Got a little bit too much in the long grass, which I can't say is too surprising at all. A little bit of extra soil, especially out over here, would certainly help. Yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky, you know, finding that perfect balance for all the different critters. But we're going to find a way to pull it off, dang it. We are going to pull it off. Okay, so case in point, we actually managed to get things working for the flamingo. The giraffe is already pleased with that. What about you? You do want a bit more short grass, so if we can get a little bit more in here to get rid of some of this long grass, we actually might be okay. So you're now in the green. Does that work with the giraffes? They're still happy with it. Flamingos, you are still happy with it. This is all looking really good. And the springbok is happy as well. Perfect. Okay, so now we just need to get some serious shelters going, right? So let's see, starting with the difficult one, that's going to be the giraffe, which is actually called the reticulated giraffe, I think. Okay, so you need like a special shelter, a big, holy frick-a-frack, I didn't realize your shelter was this big. You know, in hindsight, it probably would have made sense. Wow, okay. Maybe just extending out the exhibit a little bit could get me some much-needed space, I don't know, jeez, okay. Giraffes, man, they are a bit of a handful. We'll go ahead and place you down there. I think what they ultimately want to have is some nice large bedding and stuff, you know? That seems kind of important for the giraffes, but Oh well, maybe they can cohabitate with a lot of different other critters or something. I'm not too sure, but that should be sort of okay. Of course, now I have to, like, tweak the terrain again, but that's fine. We'll figure it out. Okay, with that all situated, hard shelter for the giraffe is taken care of. You guys are feeling pretty good as well, actually. That giant building does seem to have met pretty much everyone's needs, but that said, I'm still going to go ahead and place down some sort of another shelter. Let's see, for the springbok, for example. Let's just go ahead and place out like a very basic shelter off in this direction in case they want to go somewhere else. I just want to make sure that the visitors are able to see them resting somewhere if so desired. You know what I mean? So maybe something like out over here would do well. Okay, that should be more than enough for everybody at the moment, at least until the populations start to grow. So with that all met, now we just need some plant coverage, and I'm pretty sure everybody likes some degree of African grassland, yes? Just double checking that's the case. It's one of the reasons I chose them. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set down some African grassland terrain, and that actually might be a pretty well-balanced multiple species habitat. Okay, there we go. Oh, wow. Somehow a kangaroo escaped. I'm not actually even remotely sure how that's possible. Wait, literally, though, how did you actually escape? There's no way you could have jumped over, right? Unless you got some exceptionally powerful legs. Mr. Jalu, it's just going off wandering around. Good news is it's nowhere near the other guests. So that's a thing. All right. Well, down over here in this exhibit, why is the camera so slow once you zoom out? Down over here in the African-based exhibit, I think this is looking pretty good. We got some rather iconic umbrella trees over here, plenty of elephant grass and other such things. So we'll have to set down a lot of different education posters. And I wouldn't mind having another set of pathing so that people can look up and over the exhibit at least a little bit, but there we go. So let's take a quick look-see at our research. Whoops. Well, so we already finished something for the eastern brown snake. If we can finish some of this up real quick, I'll happily start researching a whole load of new species. But first things first, we got to capture this, though. We got to capture the dangerous red kangaroo. If this thing comes around and starts boxing people, we're all going to feel real stupid. There we go. It's been knocked down. Okay. Go toss it over the wall or something. I want to know how it got out. How did it pull that one off? I really don't know. But at least we got it back under control, so it's okay. Oh, great. We've also got a million cockroaches. They just started breeding, and now they're freaking everywhere. We're going to have to do the same thing we did at the Titan beetles. You know one thing we could do? I've never really considered this before, but what if we just, like, sterilized a couple of them, you know? You can do that. You can sterilize the critter. That works, and that way with a contraceptive, they stop breeding entirely. Right? You just click on this. I think we're going to have to do that. Oh yeah, I wonder how our little tapirs are doing over here. I just realized we finished a little bit of research on them. Let's take a look at that Zoopedia. They don't have any enrichment yet, so we want to fix that. Balls, herb scent markers, barrel feeders, forage box. The fun thing is, I've actually researched all this, so I'm glad to know that it works. Could have placed these down a lot sooner. Alright, well that's good. That means we can finish out this exhibit too. Zebras and ostriches. Those would be fun to add as well. Dare I, though? Because that feels like it's going to be a lot of extra effort. Every new species we toss in here just makes it that much harder for me, right? I think we're probably happy with just having like 5 species in here and not too much more. Gosh dang it, the dingoes are constantly in a state of about to inbreed. It's a serious issue. We got way too many females with these issues. Okay, fine. You know what? We're going to go ahead and trade off the older adult. All right, let's go ahead and send him back into the wild. Is he the best quality dingo? No, probably not. We got to stop all this stinking inbreeding. Uh-oh. One of my tapirs is incubating... Oh, God, how the heck do you say that? Campylobacteriosis. That's as close as it's going to get. Okay, sick tapirs. Well, the good news is I'm rolling in cash all of a sudden again, so if I need to buy some replacement tapirs, I can do those things. Got another exhibit placed down over here. What's something else that we could bring in that would be kind of fun? Hyenas and stuff? I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. American bison. Now, there's a classic if ever there was one for the grasslands. You know, I've often thought that American bison would probably really enjoy some of the grasslands in Australia. You know, if not, half the stuff there would probably get it killed. How big of a herd can we get of these guys? 3 to 15, only 1 alpha male allowed, however. Yeah, you know what? In honor of my own home country, I think the glorious and magnificent American bison will be joining us. Starting with Enabar, a very excitable creature right here. Everyone likes this one. It's famous. It's practically the Shamu of bison. Okay, here we go. Bison, what do you guys want? Well, apparently you guys don't require shelter. You like sleeping out in the open, and you don't care how much grass there is, and you don't even really want any rocks or soil or sand. These guys are like so easy to please. I've done nothing and they're thrilled. They're even happy with the complete lack of grass coverage. This is their ideal habitat. An absolute bare field of nothing. No, we'll beautify this, don't you worry. It's gonna be fine. Well, I think I figured out the reason why they don't care about having a lot of plants. There practically are none. North America grassland. Reeds, nettles, and goldenrods. That's about it. Wow, that is a very sparse fauna biodiversity, isn't it? Many guests think tickets are underpriced. You don't say. It's not as if I haven't put together a frickin' world-class zoo at this point. Alright, we'll go ahead and raise up those ticket prices and start raking in the extra cash. What else is going on? Oh good, we finish up with some more research for the giraffes. You know, giraffes, it turns out, require a fair bit of research if you want to take care of these guys. Only just now learning about some toys? Where am I going to get some food enrichment? All the way down to level 5, good lord. Alright, gonna be a while before my giraffes can be happy, but that's just the way things are. My springbok has caught the same disease that the bear tapir had taken on. Ooh. That's a thing, apparently. So, okay, either we just got lucky with the disease we've already researched, or somehow the tapir's been mingling at night. And it turns out that the animals do congregate, just like they do in Madagascar. Let's see, I can fit in one more exhibit, I think, before we're going to end this video. What's something really cool we could do that still sort of fits with the theme, or at least is an environment I can use? These bears, for example, are going to die in this heat. That wouldn't be great. Let's see. Those Japanese makakes are pretty fun. Okapi, these guys are endangered, aren't they? I think they are. Yes, indeed. What kind of habitat do you have? Relatively warm in the middle of Africa. These guys are perfect, and we can get a male and a female, which means I might be able to breed some and help repopulate the Earth with their species. And since I'm a little bit low on conservation credits, that kind of works well for me. So let's go ahead and adopt both of these guys and send them into the zoo. Looks like we got another weird bug where for some reason if you change up the terrain, the game thinks animals have escaped. This Okapi most definitely has not escaped, but it keeps saying it has. There we go. I don't know. A little bit of a weird bug, but alrighty then. So let's take a look at you, Okapi, over here. We want to make sure we set the right filter. And we're going to go through the irregular process of setting up a good resort for you guys. How about a, let's see, Planet Zoo shelter? Now we'll pass on some of that. What about some basic shelters off in this direction? Something kind of out of the way because I do believe these are fairly shy creatures. So we don't want to intimidate them too much, but a couple of shelters out over here, for example, should do just fine. Okay, so that's met. As far as your terrain, you do not like what you're seeing here. You mostly want soil. That sort of surprises me. Lots and lots of dirt, huh? Okay, I can arrange a lots and lots of dirt. Okay, there we go. Now, Okapi do like lots, and I mean lots of coverage. Okay, tropical African foliage. We can arrange that. Tons of it, huh? Like I said, very shy creatures. Okay, that's a little bit better. Kind of wish that I could have a lot more, you know, green grass and such around here, but since that's not an option. Environment, you look like you're pretty much okay. Could use a little bit more coverage, but at some point, I can only really do so much before I get horribly, horribly bored. How about a rubbing pillar for you? We'll place over, I don't know, let's say right around here. A sprinkler so you can cool off, maybe a couple of them if you so desire. We'll place one up over here as well. There we go, and let's see, what else do we want? Not a lot of enrichment for the Okapi, unfortunately. Would have liked to have a bit more, but we don't have that researched somehow. That's okay, though. All right, so with all of that taken care of, that's an endangered species that we have added into our zoo, which I think is a beautiful feather in my cap. Oh, goody. We finally learned a bit about food enrichment for my giraffes. Okay, a high-up grazer. You know, that does make sense. They wouldn't want to stoop down too darn low, would they? Okay, so if we can get this figured out, and then if we can get some, I'll just go up and place you right over here. If we then can go ahead and get some food enrichment figured out for the Okapi, I think that would actually be a very good place for us to end this series, because that would mean that all of the creatures in our rather large and prosperous zoo would have had some pretty darn good welfare, and I'd be happy to walk away under those conditions. So let me just finish up a little bit more research real quick. Oh, it looks like we got a little baby bison running around somewhere. I want to see this little guy. Oh, look at it. It's so floofy and cute. I love the little bison. He's great. Whoa. However, we now also have cowpox virus. Cowpox virus? I have never heard of that one. Might be a little bit harder to take care of the Okapi than I thought. Once again, many guests think that the tickets are underpriced. Well, I can certainly fix that if you want, or I can just leave it a little bit cheaper for the sake of the public education or something, because I'm a philanthropist like that. Alrighty, well, I actually do think that we have now reached a pretty good place to end this video. One thing I want to check real quick, did we unlock? No, we still haven't unlocked one-way glass. The only real challenge remaining for this zoo right now is purely that a lot of our animals in the African exhibit are getting stressed out because it is so popular and there are so many guests that they have to keep running off into the shelters in order to hide. Getting some one-way glass along here would certainly solve that problem. We're very close, but I do think that this is a good place to end this video. So considering we started with nothing, I think this is a pretty good-looking zoo, you know? It's a bit asymmetric, so it feels like it kind of naturally flows. I think I did a pretty good job on the decorations. The exhibits are great, and people are quite happy. And, of course, we did stick to our core theme, starting with the dingoes and the cassowaries, then koalas, and saltwater crocodiles and kangaroos and all manner of lovely things. This is, I think, a very solid zoo. I'm proud of it. And maybe someday we can build another themed zoo. Something Arctic themed next time? I'm not sure. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this series as much as I enjoyed creating it. If so, then I would humbly ask that you hit that like button because it really does help with the search algorithms on YouTube. Subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you leave your comments with your suggestions and hit that notify bell. And I will see you guys next time.